Welcome to the EE Weekend Preview Show, where our mission is to bring you the best betting opportunities for the upcoming weekend. We call them free squares. The horses we believe have a significant advantage over the rest of their respective fields. Each week, our expert team collaborates to form a consensus on at least 10 key horses to play from Friday through Sunday at various tracks. Join us as we share our top picks for the weekend in this inaugural episode. And my partner tonight is Oldy. Oldy, this is a really cool thing because I was really neat how all of us got together, talked, went over all the horses that we all liked. You know, we had 30 or 40 different horses. We go over each one of them and go, okay, let's vote on this. I think we're going to hit at a really high rate.
Yeah. No, I was really impressed with what we came up with. I think it's going to be a great show. I'm glad to be part of the inaugural version.
Yeah, Chris is producing tonight, so Chris is in the background if we go too long on a horse. But essentially, tonight we have 10 horses, and we think they're free squares. Oldie, I don't know. What do you think is a fair assessment? Like, what do you think we can hit at? You know, do you think based on the way we're doing it? I mean, it's a lot of really solid handicappers that are going over a lot of horses over the weekend and going, yes, I agree. This is the horse. When you get a consensus like that, what can we expect to win at? What kind of rate?
I'd say in the 40 to 50% rate.
Yeah, I think so too.
And the idea isn't for you to only see one type of horse or one type of price on a horse. Either it's what we as a group of handicappers felt the strongest about. Yeah. And, you know, it's really looking for the right mix to help you find what helps your ticket and helps you make money.
For sure. I don't think we definitely won't be talking much about how you're going to play these horses because there's a lot of different ways you can do that. And that would take the show, 4 or 5 hours long. But I think the key, you and I are going to talk about why we had a consensus as to why we like each of these respective horses. And so we'll do that. We're going to start off with Santa Anita race number 1. And so let's do that. We've got a horse here that you really liked a lot. You brought this to the team, Grazing in the Sun, who looks to be, all speed. I'm going to change up here on the broadcast so we can let's see, that was Santa Anita race number 1, right? So let me pull this up. Okay. So here we go. Because I want to be able to run the race. Okay. So here we go. Let's run this race first. And then Oldie,
Scotty, maybe you're sharing my screen instead of yours.
Am I sharing? I'm sharing yours. How do I do that? Okay. Hold on 1 second.
No worries.
All right. Let's do this. There we go. And I did. I clicked on yours. Here we go. Okay, let's rerun this. Sorry, guys. We'll get this. Okay, here we go. So, Oldie, you really liked this one horse, Grazing in the Sky. When you brought this to the team, everybody agreed that for a number of reasons, which we'll go over, this one horse looked like it was pretty solid Grazing in the Sun to go gate to wire.
Yeah, I mean, this horse has a lot of things lined up for it. It's top pace. It's the top GSR by 9 points. Or, I'm sorry, 7 points, but still top GSR by a lot. It's also top pace by 28 points. So and it's a turf sprint, and this horse has been 6.5 and has gone gate to wire at 6.5. So the 6.5 shouldn't be an issue here.
No. And here's the other thing. Look, Tom Bell claims this horse, and Tom's fine off of claims, but look, Edwin Maldonado is aboard. This horse has 3 wins and 10 tries and comes back at the same level. The SOR is about the same. The win percentage, 23%. The horse barely lost last time out while dueling. I don't think this horse is going to be dueling in here. I think this horse is going to have an easy lead, and I think that's the key. I know the simulator has the 6 winning, but I think the key here is look at the difference in pace from a 73 and the 4 horse, who's only 2% to win, has a 45. I mean, this one is going to be 3-4 lengths in front easily. I think this horse is going to be tough to run down. And then the other reason why, as a group collectively, we like this horse is this 6 horse. Look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight second place finishes. This horse just does not like to win.
Yeah, I made the comment to you earlier that I wish I loved something as much as this horse loves finishing second. So,
Yeah.
you can pencil this horse in your exacta because it's probably going to finish second. And, the one should sit a great trip here, breaking from the rail. And, I just feel like this horse is set to go gate to wire here. And it's also the only horse in the race with a victory at this distance.
Yeah, and when you really look at this horse too, the 6 horse Safa, who's going to be your favorite, this
Yeah.
horse breaks bad every single time. It's just not a good breaker. I mean, it runs. I mean, I would like to have this horse. There's nothing wrong with this horse, but you can see glaring here: 11 races, 1 first place finish, 7 second place finishes.
Mhm.
It is 48% to win, but look, it was 48% two back, and against a similar company. GSR is about the same, and it got a second place finish. I mean, on paper, this horse looks really dangerous, but the advantage in pace that the one has is pretty. It's huge, and so I think we all agreed collectively that while the 6 horse looks very good, it's going to be very tough to catch the one.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
all right. So the next race we had was Churchill Downs race on Friday. Again, we're talking about Friday's races right now. Churchill Downs race number 4. And here's a horse that I brought to the table here, a first-time starter
Yep.
for Steve Asmussen. I love this horse. I look at the workouts here on this horse. You can see here May 1st, 4 of 40, 15 of 88, 2 of 101, 25 of 111, and 8 of 141. I mean, this horse is just working bullets. It's the top pace number. It's a horse to watch. It's only 29% to win, but in this situation, when a horse is top pace, top win, top EE morning line, EE long shot, these horses win 33% of the time with a positive 5% ROI and 67% in the money. This is also the EquinEdge long shot, 5-2 on the EquinEdge morning line. So there's a lot more that's pointing towards this horse running a good race.
Absolutely. So this horse, why does it have a positive ROI? It's the long shot, and it wins at what was that percentage again?
It wins at 33% of the time when horses meet this criteria. And
So if I
it just,
told you you were going to win 33% of the time with a horse that's 6-1 on the morning line, you'd probably be able to make money off of that.
for sure.
And
And I think the 10 horse is going to take some action. It's 3-1 on the odds
yeah,
makers morning line. The 1 horse is going to take some action. It's a first time starter whose workouts are not bad for Brad Cox, but the horse does draw the rail going 5 furlongs. And the horse will have to get the lead. I mean, maybe it has that kind of speed. Let's look and see if there's any gate drills. Oh, here's a gate drill, 97 of 181. That's just not endorsing. 42 of 57. I think they're waiting for longer for this horse. And so why is this significant? You can see that 9 furlongs top distance. The horse has some good breeding, but it's important to, when you like a horse, to be able to look at the main contenders in the race and go, they look okay. Nothing really stands out, and that should help you like your horse even a little bit more. I love the fact this is the top pace number. I've seen these first-time starters be the top pace number, and they win a high percentage of the time, as many of the front runners that win, that are first-time starters. And if you have the lead at the first call, this is just a national statistic for last year in 2023. If you had the lead at the first call, you won 33% of the time.
well, and with 2-year-olds, I think it's even more pronounced than that too, because
Probably.
they haven't really learned how to pass horses. If you look at those 4.5 races at Keeneland, I think there was one race the entire meet that a horse passed the horse that was on the lead. So,
Yeah.
if this horse gets to the lead, it's going to be very, very dangerous to, and, that this Asmussen's been very hot at Churchill. And he also, Bruno brought this up. He thought he wasn't aiming for Keeneland. He was aiming for Churchill. And it's played out that way too.
He
So
always aims,
beyond,
always,
yeah.
always aims for Churchill. Always.
And you have
Absolutely.
the 2 sharp gate drills as well. So I'm not concerned about this horse breaking out of the gate, which is always, when you have a horse that can run, your worry, especially with 2-year-old first time starters, is how will it break. But this
Well, and I'll
horse
tell
looked
you,
like
this
it.
is why Steve Asmussen does so well. Although, he's 14% with first-time starters. But here's the thing. I used to get concerned when there's too many gate drills. But I think what a lot of trainers understand is if you want to win first time out, then you need to make sure the horse is going to break good from the gate. And you look, this horse has 4 gate drills showing out of the 6 workouts. Look right here on May 1st, 4 of 40 from the gate, going that 3/8. 4 furlongs here, 15 of 88. This is a 2 of 101. That is lightning fast from the gate. So of 101 horses that went 4 furlongs from the gate that day, May 17th, this horse had the second fastest time. And then another gate drill here. I don't understand, the gate drill again here on June 1st. Why not a 3/8 breeze or a 4 furlong breeze? It's a little weird to me, like why so many gate drills. But the bottom line is the horse is still, how fast is this horse? The horse has to be really fast to have these kind of times with all these gate drills. So and it has some substance. It's got the top win percentage. It's the EquinEdge long shot, and it's 5-2 on the EquinEdge morning line, and it shows to be the top pace. So I just think all systems are go for this horse.
Yeah, no, I'll explain the gate drills as these are 2-year-old races, and you have to get out of the gate because the horses don't pass each other. So it's like we discussed too, and on top of that, I was always told on Asmussen horses, look for a bullet gate drill in the last work for the ones that are live. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I was always told about Asmussen.
Okay, so let's go to Woodbine race number 6. I think this is gonna be a fun show. It's gonna be a fun show to do, isn't it? Like, these horses collectively, the group went over these horses and said, "Hey, Nate, like you had a couple of horses you like today," and I'm like, "Man, I'm sorry," and I the same, and you're like, "Nope," and Chris is like, "Nope," and the team is just looking at this stuff and going, like, we have to collectively agree, and I think for that reason, we're able to look at all sides and give an objective opinion as to why we don't agree with you. But when we all agree, I think that's just a higher percentage chance the horse has of winning. So I think we've got some really good horses. Here's a horse I brought to the group that I thought was going to be really tough from the outside post at Woodbine on the turf sprinting. Let's take a look at the 9 horse here, Summer Commander, who's also a silver star as well. Top pace number by far, 43% to win. Top EquinEdge pick. There's a lot going for this horse. Let's run the race. Oldy, like it's not even barely the first call, and this horse is already over 3 lengths in front of these horses.
Yeah, I think this horse is gone. And, from a metric standpoint, this is top win, top Scotty, and then all the other metrics it could line up to all line up. And you'll see on here that wins 52% of the time. And actually, in the data I've been collecting as well, I have it around 67% of the time. So even
it's
better
just
than
incredible. Now, here's the thing. Again, this horse is 5-2. If this horse was 6-5 on the odds makers morning line, I know it's 6-5 on our morning line, but remember these are free squares, and we're looking for somewhat of prices, but so we can't control, but what these horses go off at. But that being said, this horse is 5-2 on the odds makers morning line. So if you do any horizontals, maybe this horse doesn't get singled. Now, after the fact, your verticals might be low because this horse could go off at 3-5. The other reason why we collectively liked this 9 horse was we looked at the 5 horse, who's the main competition. And in this horse's first start, it faced a similar group, was 11% with a 64 GSR, got second. Today's GSR drops 12 points. It does go up 3 points in win percentage, but it drops 12 points in GSR. So when you like a horse like we like the 9, and then the main competition maybe could regress or go the wrong direction, that enhances your like of a horse. I love this 9 tomorrow. 9 tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I think the 9 is going to break and be gone. Has the outside post too. So if it does need to press, I think it might be able to do that. But I don't really see other speed here. Your next highest pace numbers in the 60s. And, this horse just looks like he's a cut above everybody else here.
Yeah, yeah, he sure does. All right, we've got Santa Anita race number 7 tomorrow. So let's go to Santa Anita, race number 7. This is really fun, considering like going over it like we did, doing what we did to kind of see all of this happen and look at these horses. I have so much confidence in these horses because it wasn't just myself that went over them. Like the group went over them and agreed that these are solid horses. So that was pretty neat. We are on the 6 horse here, Moment's Pleasure, who's 32% to win, 6-5 EE morning line, top EquinEdge pick. Now the 8's going to have the lead, but we all agreed that we thought the 8 would stop, and we'll show you why that the 6 horse looks good, not just because of the simulated race. We'll look at the horse's past races, but you'll see this horse starts coming on late, and they're just in the stretch now, and then the 6 takes the lead right before the stretch and pulls away to win. Now the 3 horse is coming, and that's the EquinEdge long shot. So we'll look at that horse real quick. This horse just broke its maiden. Horses that break their maiden only come back to win 5% of the time against winners. So we thought this horse seems to have an okay future, seems honest, and maybe it's a horse you want to use in the exotics. The 6 horse, though, check this out. The 6 horse, I had a note right here on this horse too, was best traffic down the stretch when this horse ran 2 back. Then they moved this horse up into a non-graded state-bred stakes race, and that was a 66 SOR. The horse was only 4%, same GSR of 70, and lost against 9 other horses, only losing by a length. And look at what this horse has done going 8 furlongs, Oldy. 3 times going 8 furlongs, lost by a quarter of a length here, lost by 1.45 lengths here with trouble, had a ton of trouble in that race, and then against a 66 group, lost by a length. Now, tomorrow is 32% and facing 10 points easier on the SOR. This horse just looks really, really tough tomorrow.
And the other thing to note here is this horse gets a jockey upgrade as well. So it goes from Barrios to
JJ Hernandez.
JJ, yeah. So you get the big heavy, if you will, right now, along with Pratt at Santa Anita. You get as well a horse that's lightly raced and has been on the improve. And
Yeah.
you look at the 3 you showed, that horse is 1 for 11.
Right.
And almost all of its races have been at this distance, where the 6 has only run 5 times and seems to be improving, and they felt good enough about it to put it in a state-bred stakes race, and it ran very well. I think this is really the horse to watch, so to speak, in the late pick 5 area, or for doubles in the Santa Anita card on Friday.
Yeah. The simulator is going to be available to the public in about 2 weeks. So I actually have a meeting tonight, and we're going to be looking over some of the little details of it, but pretty confident that by the end of June, the simulator race will be out. All right, so that does it for Friday's races. Let's start off with Saturday's races. We got Belmont Park race number 3 for Saturday, and we've got the 6 horse. Let's take a look at the 6 horse is our play, and that's Highway Harmony. Is this a horse you liked, Oldy?
This was a horse I like. So this 6 horse here, top pace, long shot. If you look at this horse from Abreu, has just came off the layoff, didn't get the lead last time out, but didn't give up and really dug in and nearly won the race anyways. And here it should get the lead. This is not the richest group of turf-bred horses here either. So it's also the top GSR.
Right.
And this horse can make its own trip, where a lot of these other horses need to negotiate a trip.
Yeah, and we also agreed, even though the one horse is the top EquinEdge pick, we also agreed that that one, it's dropping in for a tag and it's facing a little bit easier. The win percentage goes up a little bit, but we also thought, man, this horse's GSR is really low. I know this is a Chad Brown Franco. I just don't think this horse is all that great. And I think what we have seen with the GSR, and of course you'll get horses like this that win, but they don't win a lot. And that is the GSR is super accurate turf going 2 turns, right? We've seen that, Oldie.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And if you click, can you click on the 6 for a second?
Yes, sir. No problem.
So the other thing we want to point out here, so scroll down.
Okay.
The 6 has been mostly almost all running on dirt. It has that nice 5.5 furlong effort first time out, and then
Oh,
doesn't
that's
get
right. On
back
the
to the
turf right
turf.
here.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And then doesn't get back to the turf till
Last race.
525 of 2024, and runs a very nice race there as well. And now is dropping in class as well, going from 80K non-winner of 1 allowance to 20K non-winner of 2 lifetime, or 40K non-winner 2 lifetime. So this horse seems to want the turf, seems to really be a turf horse, and they just haven't placed it there. And I think this horse is really going to take off and going to surprise people here.
Well, I think you're right too. And here's the thing: the fact that Abreu has not been willing to put this horse in for a tag speaks volumes. But
Yep.
clearly, this horse wants turf. Clearly, like look at, like you mentioned here, this 5.5 furlong race here in its first lifetime start, barely lost by a length on the turf, and then last time out at 25-1 at only 6% to win, same level, same GSR, broke from the rail against 10 other horses and only lost by a length and 3/4, and showing some speed. This horse wants turf, now jumps to 23%. And then I think we agreed also the one horse has such a low GSR that would enhance the chances of the 6 winning. I think the only horse a little bit that we were a little concerned about was the 4 horse, which is Pletcher's horse dropping in for a tag. Irad is aboard, and but the GSR drops some. The win percentage is about the same, and it's going up in competition from a 48 to a 56. And they're giving up on this horse. Workouts are just okay. I think the 6 horse, we could get 5 or 6 to 1 on this 6 horse, absolutely. And it's to me, it seems like the play. I think it's a free square. You think it's a free square? If I was going to cover my bet, I might put a little bit 4-6.
Excellent.
Right?
And
You agree?
yeah, I totally agree with you. I thought the 4 was the biggest threat here. I question whether, and you heard me question this to you earlier, whether Pletcher would put, if this horse could really run, and it's only run twice, why is Pletcher putting it in for a 40K tag here?
Yeah, and it's had big time. Look at 2 races,
it's
2 layoff lines. So
it's a
yeah,
yeah, it's a 3-year-old. You don't, that this horse should have its best days ahead of it, and instead it's being put in for a tag here. So that this is a horse that I might cover in a double or something like that, but wouldn't be my primary usage here, because that's a red flag to me. And I always say about Baffert that he doesn't put good horses in for a tag, and that's why I've done very well playing against Bafferts in maiden claiming races,
yeah.
as an example.
By the way, really good point, Bill. We talked about the turf and how the horse has run 2 really good races on the turf, but we didn't mention that last race was the first time this horse went 2 turns.
Yep.
And handled it great. So I'm kind of surprised the horse is in for a tag, to be honest with you, after running so good, going first time 2 turns against an allowance field. But could be a really good opportunity, especially because you have a Chad Brown and a Pletcher horse in the race. You might get good odds on this horse. And I will tell you another thing, Oldie. I know that's actually not I was thinking the same thing, claim the horse, but it's not a bad idea. This is the type of horse sometimes that I will single, Oldie, because then I can, especially if the sequence of horizontal is tough, you single a horse like this, but you have to act like this is a 3 to 5 shot when you single it, and make sure that you spread in the other legs, because the worst thing that happens is you single a horse like this, but you're like, okay, I'm going to single it, but then you don't really believe, so you don't really cover enough horses in the other legs. So you get your single home and then you lose the other legs, and then it ends up paying $30,000 for the pick 5. So like you have to own it if you're going to own it. And I think the 6 horse might be that kind of play.
Yeah, no, it reminds me, not as good of a price, but it reminds me a little bit of the 37-1 horse or 27-1, whatever it was that I singled at Tampa on Tampa Derby Day before they went off the totes.
Yeah.
And, I was actually, worried that I didn't play, that I played too aggressive. And, I hit a pick 4 for about $80 that paid about $5,500 from just singling that horse and
Yeah.
and sticking to my handicapping in the other legs
And
and not
sticking to it.
figure. Yes,
Yeah.
and sticking to your guns
You
and
notice that
sticking
what
to
we
your
do, we're
handicap.
always backwards. And I'll tell you what it is. And everyone will relate. I do it. We fear so much that we're so confident of horses 3 to 5 because I guess everyone else it makes you feel better that the horse is 3 to 5 and you're part of the crowd. But that's not how you make the big money. That's not how you get the big scores. You have to single a horse like this and then make sure that you treat it like it's 3 to 5, like I was saying, and then make sure you spread properly in the other legs. That's how you get the big payouts.
And shout out to Justin, who is one of the best I know at playing those multi-leg tickets with no fear.
Yeah, with no fear. That's right.
No
He
fear.
sure does. Okay, that's we'll wrap up Belmont Park race number 3. The 6 Highway Harmony is our collective play. And then we've got Laurel Park race number 6. And I believe this is a horse that Chris brought to the table.
Yes, correct.
Let's see here. The 2 horse Bellamy, who's 9 to 5 on the odds makers morning line, 6 to 5 on ours, 48%. We noticed the surge indicator, meaning this horse went from a 46 last time out to tomorrow or Saturday is going to be 48% and a 59 GSR. So it goes up 13 points in GSR off the layoff. And the trainer is 30% first race back. So let's run the simulated race and see what we can find out in this 9 furlong race.
And the rough.
So it's also the top EquinEdge pick. It's also the SOR. Look at the SOR, Oldy. 53 on the SOR, right? Like this horse is the class of the field, bar none. And a lot of the metrics are just pointing this way. 6 to 5, 48%. Top EquinEdge pick. The simulator likes the horse to win. And the SOR is 53. The next closest is 50 with the 11 horse, who looks a little bit outgunned here. So let's take a closer look at Bellamy. And what do you see when you see this horse? A couple of layoff lines back to back. This horse changes barns with Ramsey, who's 30% first time off the layoff. What do you expect to see here?
The number one thing I see here is this horse gets back to turf. And if you look there, look at the GSR drop on the 1 Diodoro race. That this horse clearly is a turf horse, not a dirt horse.
Yeah.
I think 9 furlongs is a perfect distance for this horse as well. And, it has ran against some tough maiden fields. I mean, that other 9 furlong effort at Belmont last year, that was a 56 group, which is a huge SOR on a maiden race.
Yeah. Can I tell you how to look at this? I'll tell you how exactly to look at this. So Diodoro got this horse and he put the horse on the dirt, and look at the GSR go down.
Yep.
So if you throw that race out, here's what I see. I see the horse face a 52 group last time out, and today's a 42 group, so 10 points lighter. I see the horse going from 21% win to 48% win, and the GSR is about the same, 60 to 59. And in that race, the horse only lost by 2 3/4 lengths. That's what I see. And if you look at it from that perspective, and the horse is sound and good, and the trainer's really good off the layoff, 30%, then this horse is gone.
And he's also 22% first time with trainer too. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things pointing to this horse. I think also this horse is going to set a perfect pocket trip behind the 6 and the other speed there, and will be in position to pounce when they turn from home.
Yeah, you 100% like, and the horse is tactical. The horse will probably
Yeah.
be 3, 4, or 5 lengths back, and it's going to save ground from the inside. So absolutely, the horse looks tough. Um, we didn't love this horse here. Now I know it looks like a drop. This is what's so amazing about the numbers, but it faced a 40 group last time out and it had a 59 GSR. It gets claimed for $40,000, and now this horse is in for $16,000. That's just not endorsing. Something's amiss here. And yeah, I think though, here's what I worry about a horse like this. 2 back, it was racing in a maiden special weight against some of the nicest horses over at Belmont on the turf. Faced 11 horses,
Mhm.
only lost by a half a length. In the very next race, the horse is in for a $40,000 tag. No,
Yeah, that something seems off there. And I'll also say that, that because of the claim too, why, when the claim was made in August of last year, are we sitting here in June and the horse is just getting to the races?
yeah, yeah. And you look at the jockey trainer combination; it's not bad though. CC Lopez
Yeah.
is they've won 3 of these races, so that's not bad, or 4 of these races, excuse me. Um, so that's not bad. But I just think at the end of the day, this 2 horse looks really tough. And look, the 6 horse is going to take some money, and
Yeah.
but I think you're probably going to get, this horse is going to probably go off at like 7 to 5, 8 to 5. And but again, it's not about that. It's more about the free square and moving on to the next leg. That's really what this show is going to be about, is where are the free squares located? And if we can win 50% of the free squares, then everyone else just has to do their job.
And, just my gut feeling is that the 6 bolts and goes off way too fast early. I don't think it's going to go like 22, but it might go, let's say about a mile pace, maybe 23 and 2
Right.
early. And there's enough other cheap speed around it and there that, if it breaks a little slow, the 3 could get the lead and then the 6 might be done
Right.
as well. So there's a lot of things, because of the tactical ability of the 2 and the ability to potentially get a pocket trip there, that the pointing at the 2.
Yeah. No, 2 looks really tough in this field. Okay, let's move on. We've got Delaware race number 8. I think this race was a race Chris brought up. I think this race also, Delaware race number 8, was a race that Chris had brought up.
Yep.
Race number 8, Delaware, the 5 horse. Yeah, Chris brought this up. We had a consensus here on this horse. This 5 horse looks tremendous to us. Let's run the race. It is a gold star, so it's 32%. So the win percentage is 24, but horses in this situation with top win, top GSR, EE, top pick, they win 32% of the time at a positive ROI of 7%.
Yeah.
And what we thought about this race was there was such bad horses in here that they were going to stop, and then the 5 was just going to mow them down. And you can see that this horse is right here. It took the lead. That was before the stretch, and then pulls away to win. And these are just a lot of poor horses. The horse at 7 to 5 on the odds makers morning line, Cooperin. This horse is 5 to 2 on the EquinEdge morning line, and the GSR is dropping. So not the direction you want to go, and a lot of horses are stopping. I think that the 5 horse Tap Oracle could be tough going to a new trainer. And who's 0 for 5, but I don't think it's going to matter. I do think this horse is going to get home this time, because this is just that bad of a field. But would love your opinion on this, Oldy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's cheap speed here. The speed of the race is 1 for 22 lifetime, and that horse is likely going to stop. The horses chasing it are going to go too fast trying to chase it, and they're not tactical. they haven't really shown the ability to rate off. They're many time losers, and this 5 is just going to pick these guys off
Well,
as they
and
come
you know
through
what I
here.
like too, Oldie? I like the fact this is the third race off the layoff, and the new trainer puts this horse going 8 furlongs. I think it's perfect. I think with all the speed, the cheap speed that's lined up in here, this horse already has proven to get a third place finish at going 8 furlongs on the dirt over at Penn, and faces easier competition, higher win percentage, same GSR. Third off the
Yeah,
layoff, this horse has improved off of each of these races here on 5-4 and 5-15. I think this is the horse to beat.
yeah, and honestly, I don't mind the June 8th workout either. Just keeping the horse sharp.
Yeah,
In this group, a 2-star work is actually a pretty good work. Because if you
yep.
look, the 6 has got 1-star works, no works on the 8.
You know,
There's really not a
the,
lot of other horses working well here.
so when Doug is asking, can we expand on horses to watch percentages? I don't know what you mean by that, Doug. Can you elaborate? Oldie, I like this claim because you go. This is nice at Delaware. You claim a horse for 6,250, and then you're running next time out for 14,000. If you're right about your claim and you win, you're getting your money back.
Yeah, and the fact that that this horse is getting an easier group at the same claiming level shouldn't be ignored either.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the key is look, we talk about this all the time, and that is taking horses that come from so far back, taking them to win and key them. It can be difficult sometimes, but I mean, this is just a field of horses that they stop.
Yeah,
Like they like to stop. And so in this situation here against the 38 group, this horse won by a length and a quarter, was 44% to do that. That drops to 17%, and the GSR drops 19 points. And even the EE Morning Line doesn't love this horse. So,
yeah,
you
and
know what I
other
mean?
than the win, too, look at every other race for that horse. You
Yeah,
know, other than that one 12,000 maiden, 12,500 maiden race, this horse hasn't even been in the same stadium
no,
or track as the other horses.
right, no, exactly. And arguably, this horse is probably a turf horse more than it
Yep.
is a dirt horse. You can see that by the turf tap. Um, so yeah,
And its one
okay.
win came on turf as well. So
It came on turf, exactly. Okay, so that's Delaware Park, race number 8. I think we have one more race for Saturday. Hawthorne, race number 3. I think this was a Chris horse as well, wasn't it? Let's see here.
Hawthorne race number 3, I believe it was. Yes.
Yeah. All right, we're on the 3 horse here, Kaylee's sister, and we'll look at each horse and we'll show you that there's a high likelihood, even though the 3 can get the lead, and maybe he will. I don't think they're gonna go for the lead. A nice person here. I think they're gonna
Mhm.
let the 1 needs the lead and the 2 probably needs the lead. So there's no reason for the 3 to go. So she won't use herself up. We think and we agreed as a team collectively that she's going to trip out and sit right behind the 1 and the 2 and then finish, and then the 5 is going to come late. We did think we respected the 5 in here, and we even respected the 4 to close a little bit, but we didn't think it was classy enough. But the 3 horse just seems to be the real deal in this race. It's also a horse to watch, and it's 3-1 in the EquinEdge Morning Line. Of course, this horse is going to probably take all the action, but it doesn't look like it really wants to rate. If you look at it, I mean, this horse is a dead nuts front runner, but something's got to give because this is a really good breaking horse, and it has the lead at the first call in every single race. You see that? Like,
And I mentioned this to you too. I think the 1 and the 2 hook up on the front end being right next to each other.
yep,
And the 3, who is really the 3 and the 4 are the only 2 horses that can really rate here, but the 3 is much classier, and they're both from the same barn. And if you look at the jockeys aboard too, um, the Ravelli uses
Mojica,
Majika
yeah,
Moika, a
more
lot
than
more than he uses
David
cone.
Cohen. Yeah,
So,
for sure.
not you're getting 9 to 2 on the morning line versus 9 to 5 on the other Ravelli, we'll call it, who doesn't have the class. The E morning line hates it. And
Yeah.
when I say hates it, is 8 to 1 off a 9 to 5 morning line. And that often indicates a morning line that's set incorrectly. So,
Well, and look at the odds makers morning line on the 4 horse. It's 9 to 5.
yep.
Like we couldn't have like further apart morning lines. Like we have the 4 horse at 8 to 1. So I respect the 4 certainly, but if you look, it beat a 56 group pretty easily, but it got the lead, and then it was right there against a 52 group. This is a 68 group against a 66 group. It didn't run the same. This is why the SORs are so very important. And when it did win in these 2 races, it was 27% to do so with only 4 other horses, and then 60% here with 4 other horses. So this is a different group of horses in here. I think this horse is just not as good as these horses in here. So this is an 80,000 allowance optional, $36,000 purse, and Ravelli's got this horse just in top notch form. And look, 7 wins in 13 races, pretty phenomenal. And if we look at this Oldy at the GSR, let's look at the SOR. The 3 horse going 6 furlongs in the dirt has 5 wins, 1 second, and 1/3 for $140,000. Now we did talk about the 2 horse. It has earned $260,000 at 6 furlongs in the dirt with 3 wins, 2 seconds, and 2/3. That being said, though, it did it on the lead, and the 1 horse is fast as hell. And I think because of the 1, if the 1 was to get scratched, then maybe it's a different story. And even then, the 3 could still beat the 2.
Yeah.
But with the 1 in the race on the inside and sending, of course, and breaking so good all the time, I think that really hurts the 2's chances, and the 3 sets a perfect trip.
And I mentioned this to you when we were discussing this horse too, but the 2's winnings are skewed by 1 race.
Yeah,
And which was an allowance race at Oak Lawn
right.
that had a huge purse. So
Yeah,
that without that, really the 3 is the horse that keeps winning and keeps winning at a high level.
yeah, yeah.
And you're
And
getting
also,
significant jockey downgrade there too.
well, and Ramon Vasquez is aboard too for that day, and that significant drop in jockey at 8%. So I think we agree. Kaylee's sister for the win here at Hawthorne race number 3. That's on Saturday. Okay, we've got 2 races for Sunday. Let's get to it. That is on 6/16. Churchill Downs race number 4. And we've got the 5 horse Lord Diamond. That's the horse that we collectively liked. Let's take a look at this. We'll run the race, and Lord Diamond is our horse. Top EquinEdge pick, 9 to 5 on the EquinEdge morning line, and 28%. Do you remember much about this horse? I'm trying to.
Yes.
I know we discussed this for a long time earlier today.
Yeah. So this horse had a 4-star work coming into that maiden special weight, is dropping into this group, which is a 50K claimer, but there's not really all that much in this race. And you look at this 5 horse, if it were to run to those works, and we did talk about, we thought maybe this wasn't a true 4-star work,
Yeah.
but it's still working really well for the level. And it's getting Jose Ortiz. And, second time out, Asmussen's pretty good with second time starters. And you're getting 7 to 2 on the morning line. And the E morning line's telling you should be getting 9 to 5. So there's potential for value there. It's also the top GSR. It's the top win percentage and the top E pick.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing. It broke. So Bruno's Lord Diamond and winner edified. They went fast in 46-4 and liked Lord better than the horse that had won the race. And this horse drops from a maiden special weight down to this claiming price. And we kind of watched this horse's workout here. And I think we both agreed that like Bruno's not really wrong very often, but in this particular workout, to me, I'm not Bruno for sure. Let's clarify that. That being said, I didn't feel like this was a 4-star where I don't think this horse is all that great. These horses went good. Lord Diamond's on the outside of Edified, who already had won a race to this point and being asked on, under left-handed urging. And I mean, looks okay here, but you can see the jockey's elbows, right? He's out. He's asking. I think it was okay, but here's the thing, though. That should be plenty good to win on this drop. Going from a 52 SOR to a 38 SOR, that's a huge drop. 5% win to 28% and maintains that GSR of 64. You should see a completely different horse this time around.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of finding the right level for the horse. I think that this is likely it. The fact that Jose agreed to ride it as well, I think tells you something because he doesn't ride all that often for Asmussen. So that, that this seems like a horse that just is going to overmatch this competition. I'll make another point too from watching that video. This is a bigger horse, and sometimes when you have a bigger horse, they need a race. And it may have just needed that race for fitness. So we're coming back. It's under a month. This horse should be super fit. And I love this horse in this spot.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a lot warmer on this horse as well. And then here's the thing. Here's one of the main competitors in this race. And yeah, it does drop, and it's super fast. It broke perfect last time out. And look at the GSR. I hated this horse each time it ran. I don't want to see a maiden special weight at Keeneland with a 46 GSR. I'm sorry. And now a $50,000 race at Churchill, and the horse has got a 38 GSR. I don't care what the picks say. The horse draws the rail as well. I pass on the 1. That makes me like the 5 that much more.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you on the 1. The GSR is a disqualifier for me. You look at this horse too, and this horse was 25-1 second time out in the maiden race, and was dropping into 100K maiden claiming from maiden special weight, and still lost by 15 lengths. So now they're dropping it again, and typically you see it jump and you see it showed speed, but it broke slow. And now it's on the rail too, and it's going to probably break slow again because it's not the best breaker. Since May 11th, there's no gate works.
No.
So I think this horse, if it goes off at 5-2, that's a gift to everybody playing this race.
And what do we usually, when we see 38 GSRs, 41 GSRs, what kind of races are we seeing horses in those races? Like what kind of levels?
Golden Gate would be my
I mean, not even
answer,
that. Like you see, I mean, usually it's anywhere from like $5,000 to $10,000 races. I mean, these are really low GSRs. And the reason we're bringing this up, it's significant when this is going to be one of the main contenders to the 5. There's your free square right there, Lord Diamond.
Yeah, and you asked that question without saying, trying to be not nasty about it. Like you'll see that at Thistle, you'll see that at Belterra, the smaller tracks that are running during the week. You'll see a 38 GSR.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I will say this: there's a first-time starter that's the EquinEdge long shot. So just maybe if because we don't know anything about this horse, but it was good enough to be the and we know how good the EquinEdge long shots are. It's 7-1 on the EquinEdge morning line. Just that is probably when you don't know something about a horse, you can see the other ones. We can't really see this one very well. Maybe should just maybe the only other horse you might want to consider would be the 4-horse Shiva.
Well, Scotty, what type of long shot is that?
What do you mean?
What type of long shot is that? You said it twice. What type of long shot is it?
The EE long shot?
Is that what it's called?
Listen, it's I don't like saying that because it's just weird to say, Scotty long shot, Scotty. We'll let everybody else say Scotty long shot. I say EE long shot.
Okay, if you don't want to say Scotty long shot, we also call it the SLS.
Okay. So, fair enough. Fair enough.
Just giving you a hard time.
I will say this. No, I know. I love it. I will say this, though, that the Scotty picks are my creation based on the different algorithms and stuff. They were formulated from the way I would look at playing the simulated race. So I kind of grabbed it from there and made those, and they've been. I think we can agree how good have the EquinEdge picks been over the last 2 months, and we made the update. Been phenomenal.
Yes, amazing is what I would say the answer is.
Yeah, like really incredible. And we it looks like in the next month we think we're going to be able to improve it. So we're feeling really confident that we might get a couple of higher points on the EquinEdge long shot. So all right, yeah. Oh, thank you, Steve. Appreciate it.
And you see all the, and you see that the public agrees
awesome.
with us that they love having your name there. Your name belongs there, and
Thank
you know everybody was super excited about it. You know, and they're great algorithms. And you look with the Scotty long shot / EquinEdge long shot won the first 2 legs of the Triple Crown.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I can't wait to go look at all the picks. If you go look, I challenge everybody to go look at whatever race, whatever track you want. Go back a week and look at how good they are, so you could get some confidence. But the new algorithms are just killing it. They are killing it. But we can see the 5, and I think we agree that maybe the 1's no good, especially from the rail. But we can't really see the 4, and we know that the EquinEdge long shots are really deadly. So. But I still think the 5 is a free square because a lot of times you see these first-time starters, they don't really break good, especially when they have inside posts. I will say this: there might be some speed here with this horse, Oldy, because look, this is a pretty nice gate drill here, 3 of 27 and a 3-star from Bruno.
Yeah, no, that's a nice work for this group. I think that the thing is I think there may be other speed here, like the 1, for instance, and the 2. I believe the 5's going to sit a perfect trip right behind that.
Yeah, yeah, out of Matoli.
Yeah, but I think that the 4 and the you know, we're not really saying how to play these, but you know, you could potentially see a 5-4 exacta here.
Right. We're having a bug where you click on the sire and the dam. It should, unfortunately, it's not popping up fast. Brad's working on that, but you can click on the sire, click on the dam, and it'll usually pop up pretty good. And that's a really cool thing to kind of see what the sire is all about, the dam's all about. They're working on that right now, and a lot of things right now to even speed things up even faster. So, yeah, Chris did really good finding some of that stuff. What did Gary say? It seems like every time I get beat out of same, Gary, you've heard me. Like I do not mess around the Scotty long shot anymore, especially. I don't mess with it. If I'm playing a horizontal, I'm throwing it in. I don't care if I like it or I don't like it. All right, we've got one more race of the night, Oldie. Churchill Downs, race number 11. This is on Sunday. The 3-horse. I can't remember which one of the team brought it up. By the way, we're having more of the team members. So tonight and this weekend was you, me, and Chris. But we're adding Derek, Brad, Justin, you, me, and Chris. And all of us are going to throw in like 5, 6, 7 horses apiece for the weekend, next weekend. And then we're going to go over those horses on Friday before the show and go over them to come up with our picks. It'll be a minimum of 10. Who knows? Maybe it's so good we like so many horses. Maybe we'll give out 20. I don't know. Could be.
Yeah, no, and it's really, yeah, from my standpoint, a lot of fun to just be able to go over these horses like this and, hear other people's opinions within the group and be told that I'm wrong. So other than my wife, where do I hear that from, right?
You hear it from me.
Exactly.
And you know what? Other than Anna, who do I hear it from? You.
Me. Yes.
This goes all the way back to when I was doing EquinEdge live, and it's just like every time I would go, I love this horse. It would be on the chat. I'd be Oldie. I don't like that horse at all. Oh, but
Yeah,
it's so important, though. It's so important that we have that collective group. I'm so giddy and excited about this new show. I really think we're going to hit at a high rate, and it's going to bring a ton of energy to the chat, to the EquinEdge community. I really am. But okay, let's finish this last horse. We all agreed we like the Scotty long shot for a number of reasons.
yeah.
Baxter is the long shot. The horse is 47% to win, and it's 9-5 on the EquinEdge morning line. I mean, that alone, it's worth it. Now we'll look in detail, but let's go ahead and run the race first. It's coming, Steve. It's
Yeah.
coming. 2 weeks, you're gonna have it. I mean, we saw this, Oldy. Look at this 3 horse. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a stretch. I mean, this horse is already 3 lengths in front, and then they're coming a little bit. And here comes the 8 a little bit. The 3 holds on to win. I think it's important that we look at the 8 real quickly. We talked about this horse. So this Adam Rice gets this horse, claims it for $10,000. Dropped from 50 down to 10, broke first, and lost by a length and a quarter against a 40 group. This is a little bit tougher. The win percentage drops, but you're still talking about a race at Churchill Downs and a horse that only has a 49 GSR.
Yeah, and maybe a synthetic horse. Just from
And
looking,
maybe a synthetic. Let's see here.
synthetic or turf.
Turf. No, we talked about this. This is that we believe
Yeah.
the horse would be best on the turf. It looks like it could have some horses on the outside of it, on the inside of it. We thought the three might be further back than what it's capable of doing, or maybe it gets the lead. I don't know, but all that we felt collectively was that this 3 would have a lot of horse, and we think that Tyler, who decides to ride this horse, by the way, he rode this horse in its first start, re-rides. We think that Tyler's going to have a lot of horse, and he'll be able to do whatever he wants with this horse, saving ground on the inside and make his move when he wants and win pretty easily. And Tyler stays for the last race of the day as well.
Yeah, and if you look at this horse too, it's cutting back in distance, so it should get the advantage of now having the endurance from going longer, and it nearly won at that distance. The
Yeah.
GSR goes up a point. It broke much better second time out. You see the second time out improvement there, and
With the blinkers.
with the
Yeah.
blinkers, and now it's
Well,
dropping.
and look at the win. You guys, this is why we put the SOR win percentage and GSR right there, so you can compare it to today's SOR, today's win percentage, and today's GSR. And when you see the horse was 21-1, was only 7% to win, and then all of a sudden is 40% to win, and look at how the horse performs. Like the metrics are super. Sometimes you wonder how they do it. I mean,
Yeah.
the horse ran so bad the first time out. Why the heck, did it get bet the next time out? It's sometimes we don't know. This is why we need the help of these metrics so we can, because some of these things we just can't interpret. Because here's what happens. You might have to spread out using too many horses, where
Yeah.
instead you might go, oh, wow, this horse does look really good for these reasons. The SOR is a lot easier, lower, meaning the competition's less. And like you can see, first of all, the 3 horses going from a 46 SOR, in which it only lost by half a length, to today a 42 SOR. It's going from a 40% win to 47% win, and goes up 1 point in GSR. So the way you're supposed to interpret that is that the horse is going to improve. And the horse happens to be 9-5 on the EquinEdge morning line, the EquinEdge long shot. And I mean, crazy. 9-5 on the EquinEdge morning line. Now, why is this significant? Well, the cool part about this is if you play to pick 5, finishing out in this race, and you decided to single this horse, then this might not be a lot. This might not be a single for a lot of people, because the horse was 6-1 on the morning line. Yeah, they're going to use the horse, but they might not single it, which means that you can spread in some of the other legs. That's why what we're doing here with the free squares is so very important. If we can hit it 50%, then we're crushing it. Ed, to answer your question on the GSR, so 1 second, Oldy, I just want to answer Ed's question. It's not like 5 points is 1 length, Ed, and the reason is because you've got the SOR, that's why we have the metrics. You've got the pace, you've got the win, like you've got the SOR, the GSR. They all come together, and you have to use them collectively. So none of the metrics work that way.
Well, I also expect Scotty the 12 to take a lot of money.
Yeah.
And, I think you realistically could get 5 or 6 to 1 here. So the
Wow.
12, even though it's only 6%, that's Brad Cox. And that, this was not a Cox, that he shipped this horse to Indiana and been working at Indiana and brought it back. But, it's dropping from 50 to 20. It's a low GSR. It didn't run first time out. It's in a wide post, going one turn, a very wide post going one turn, which is a tough place to be. But it's
Yeah.
going to take a lot of money, I would not be surprised to see that horse at 5 to 2 or 2 to 1
Right.
there, just
Yeah.
based on the connections. But note that as well that Florent Giroux is not riding there. It's the rider he's been using at Indiana a lot, Concepcion.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And
Well,
I
and
think that
and
that's
you
worth
and
noting
you're
too.
in this 12 is drawing wide. That's not a great place to be. It is dropping in
Yeah.
class. I was surprised that the win percentage didn't go up on this horse. That made me not like the horse. And the horse is 7 to 1 on the EE morning line, so that's
Yep.
not exactly endorsing. And then the GSR is a 49, so that's not great. And now the horse draws wide as well. You're right. I think this horse could get overbet because there are obviously a lot of people that don't use EquinEdge and they don't see the GSR. They only see that this horse is dropping from 100,000 maiden claiming to this $20,000 level, and that is a huge drop. But when you look at it, maybe it's still not all that great.
Well, and I think also if you look at this horse, the people who look at horse names too are going to think this is a horse by Gunrunner, and it's not.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
so there's a lot of factors there. The works are nothing special. Um, the fact that this horse was in Indiana, I think he was at least planning on running it in Indy and then brought it back here, but it didn't run a lick. It's running back quickly, 13 days. So to me, and he's cutting the claiming price in half. To me,
Yeah.
that might be a sign that this horse can't run.
Well, first of all, the horse should never have been at $100,000 level in the first place.
Yeah.
That's what I
Well,
think. Like,
we're with a
so
50 GSR. Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so it should never have been there. I mean, when have you seen a Brad Cox horse that has a 50 GSR? I mean, 20,000 is the level it belongs,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that's
Uh,
just a fact. Well, we pulled this off and we thought, okay, maybe an hour and a half, maybe an hour,
yeah.
but like an hour and 10 minutes. I do want to give a plug to tomorrow morning at 11:30 Eastern time, the road to the NHC with 2022 NHC champ, my partner David Harrison. Will be on tomorrow, so you don't want to miss that. We're going to teach you all, how to join the NTRA if you're not already a member, and then how to get on horseplayers.com or horsetourneys.com and enter an $18 feeder, and then take that $18 feeder and get into a qualifier that's worth $75 tomorrow, and maybe qualify for the NHC, which is just an absolute blast. You'd love to be a part of it. We've already had 3 or 4 people from doing this that have qualified for the NHC, Oldy. So it's been a tremendous success. In fact, the NTRA contacted me saying they love what we're doing and they're going to want to sponsor us. I haven't heard back from them again yet, but I should hear back from them this coming week, and I'm super excited about that partnership with them and them really excited about what we're doing. So pretty neat. You're in the qualifier tomorrow too, Mike. Okay, cool. So what we do is we cover those races. We show the live streaming of those races, most of them, if we have the approval.
Mhm.
The NYRA, we don't have approval for any of the NYRA tracks, but for, of course, the Gulfstream Park and Stronach Group, they give us approval. We've got Woodbine, we have approval there. Of course, we have Keeneland. So many tracks. Indiana Grand, big shout out to them. They've authorized us to show live streaming. Who am I missing, Oldie?
Hawthorne. And we had a great conversation this week with the marketing director at Hawthorne, and we're going to be doing some stuff with them as well. And they seem like they're going to be great partners. So just eh, awesome things in terms of live racing. And when we say live racing, we mean not just that we're going to tell you what our picks are. You get to see the race and you get to see the track feed with us. And, you know, we enjoy that social. We hope you do too. And I hope you'll
Yeah.
check out the other shows.
Well, you guys are everything. By the way, it's really easy to follow us. Sometimes we don't always, we don't like to blast emails out to you guys all the time. So it's real easy if you want to get notifications on the show. Just go to YouTube, and then, it's real easy to do it. You click on the bell and you're going to get all the notifications of shows. Can't stress enough if you do that. Also the likes. What happens is the more likes we get, then what happens is you can start trending on YouTube, and we can start getting more followers and really build up what we're doing. And then that helps us be able to grow this thing, add more talent, add more shows, be able to continue to do what we're doing in a larger way, which is what we're trying to do. So we appreciate all the support you give us, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow on the road to the NHC with David Harrison. Oldy, this was a lot of fun. I think it's going to be super successful.
Yeah.
A big shout out to Chris. Thank him. And there's going to be more of the team that's going to be working towards next week's picks. I have a feeling we're going to have more than 10 next week, Oldy.
Yeah, no, I think so too. And, this was a great start. I'm looking forward to the show. I think it's a great concept. And, when we get into Saratoga and Del Mar, there's going to be some great horses there as well. And we look forward to doing the show for you guys.
Yeah. All right, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow morning, hopefully. And if not, don't forget the Stretch Run show on Saturday, and have a wonderful weekend. And let's get these plays in tomorrow too. We'll see you soon. Thank you so much.